Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me and see me well. My name is Elvis Halilovic, and I am Technical Sales Engineer at Exoretti. I would like to welcome you all at today's workshop, Electrical Design with WSCAD Building Automation. Thank you for joining us. The main goal of today's workshop is for you to get familiar with the building automation module of WSCAD. This workshop is being recorded, and you will get your recording afterwards as well. At the end of the workshop, the survey will appear in your browser regarding your impressions of this workshop. So we would really appreciate your feedback, so please, if you could, fill it out. Today with me will be my colleague Gaspar Ponepšek, a technical consultant that will be joining us later to show you how to use and get your way around in building automation module of WSCAD software. He will give you knowledge for better understanding of this discipline. So let's see what we will cover on today's workshop. First off, we will start with our company profile and who we are as an Exoretti. Then we will go over some facts about WSCAD, followed by product overview, what is WSCAD Electrics, augmented reality apps for mobile devices, and in the last section will be part database WSCAD universe. Then we will talk about some of our customers' success stories. From there on, Gaspar, my colleague, will take over and show you the demonstration of software and its use in building automation module and how to achieve best performance and productivity. At the very end, we will answer any questions that you may have. So please submit them anytime during this workshop in the chat or the Q&A section on the Zoom. So we are Exoretti, and we offer innovative software and hardware solutions from world-leading manufacturers for industrial and energy automation and digitization. We have many partners, and WSCAD is one among them. We offer services for individual solutions to your needs, provide consulting services and technical support. We are present in 8 countries, from Slovenia to North Macedonia, with 15 employees, and we have 3 offices, one in Slovenia, Croatia, and Serbia. Now we'll go over some facts about WSCAD. WSCAD is a company and also a software that exists more than 30 years. Started as a small company and later became the part of the Bull Group, and they have now over 700 employees, present in 18 countries worldwide and counting over 35,000 users. The interesting fact about WSCAD is that they use 25% of their revenue is reinvested back in the research and development sector, improving already existing functionalities as well as adding new ones. Regarding the industries, the main focus is put on machinery and plant engineering, building automation, and electrical installations. Now we will continue with product overview. This solution consists of 3 components. First one is engineering software, WSCAD Electrics, the most up-to-date version of software. The second component is WSCAD Universe, the engineering data and part database. It has over 1.4 million parts from over 360 manufacturers. And the last component is augmented reality apps that we will go over briefly later on. For the WSCAD software is modular and scalable, and thusly offers all tools needed for designing, planning, and development of electrical machines, plants, and buildings. As expected, they will be focused on BA discipline, where we will demonstrate usage of BA module. Plant layouts and control schemes are created using WSCAD. Building automation software function lists can be structured according to guidelines of ISO 16484 standard. You can quickly create drawings with help of macros, collect data points, and use them consistently. Also, one of the functionalities is importing of MCR schemes in DXF and DWG or PDF files, and then intelligence with just a few clicks. Over 300 macros are available for BA discipline. There is also a data point manager to handle all data points in one location and creating customer required references. Process design for building automation goes as follows. First is planning and designing the project, then electrical installation planning, followed by electrical technology and schematics, then cabinet engineering comes, then setup with commissioning, and at the end is operate with maintenance, repair, and servicing. There is also an electrical engineering discipline, enabling engineers and designers to plan, develop, and document medium, low, and extra low voltage systems in mechanical engineering and in industrial and building automation. There are symbols as per DIN EN 81364 and 61346 standard. It is interdisciplinary and has interdisciplinary functionalities and a great deal of another useful functionalities. The cabinet engineering discipline provides significant amount of support for designing and layout for cabinets. For example, the exact and optimal placement of components, collision checks for objects, and calculation of wire lengths and wire routes already during the planning. The planning and documentation of pneumatic and hydraulic machines and plants is performed with aid of fluid engineering discipline. The fluid engineering includes all benefits of the WSCAD electrical engineering software, supplemented by special fluids functions. Designers, developers, maintenance engineers, and maintenance service companies thus have a comprehensive set of fast, intuitive, and efficient tools for integrated planning and documentation of all mechatronic tasks at hand. With WSCAD Cabinet AR app, you can use your mobile device to retrieve information about components in cabinet. All you have to do is scan WSCAD QR code attached to the part with a phone's camera. Here is also a video that shows us how the application works. In WSCAD software, you can generate QR codes for your parts via label output option. Maintenance is much easier that way, while service technicians have immediate access to the actual schematics, including the BMK, 3D view of the component, part data, and original data sheets from manufacturers. The availability of components can also be determined in real time. You can see the data shown in the video. You can download it in on iOS devices and Android devices. There is also a building AR app to help building designers scan buildings in no time. This becomes very necessary if changes are made to an existing building and documentation is not available, or if it contains many errors. With building AR app, you can scan entire buildings and rooms, including the doors and windows, and save them as DXF file. Then the DXF file can be further edited in WSCAD Electrics. Scanning rooms or entire buildings is easy. You can see in video how you can edit your DXF file and add installations to it. Also, both of these apps are free of charge and you can download them for free and test it out. Now for the WSCAD universe, the database has more than 1.4 million components from over 360 manufacturers at your disposal. It saves you time when you don't have to create symbols or data by yourself. We have 40% annual growth of users and 35% growth of manufacturers. We were awarded as the best ECAD article database, and all of this is free of charge for users and manufacturers. Next are some of success stories from our customers. The first one is electrical engineers at Fraport used building automation module WSCAD for designing the complete building and road automation for Terminal 3 at Frankfurt Airport. This includes approximately 1,500 rooms, and the system includes around 90,000 data points and 150,000 automation functions. They appreciated the automatic generation of data point keys and options to quickly and easily modify them afterwards. The definition of high-level structured identifiers according to ISE 81346 was very convenient for them. It enabled them to autonomously design a cooling system as part of the air conditioning system. There are also others that I would like to mention that use other disciplines, for example, electrical engineering, cabinet engineering, fluid engineering, PNID, and electrical installations. One of them are Wickman Group and electrical engineers at Vago. Some others that I would like to mention are Hasokawa Alpine and BSG and Niemann. I would like to mention a few more customers who successfully deployed WSCAD in their everyday work. We have here ABB, AMD, Vago, Siemens, Philips, and many others. So good reasons to go for WSCAD software is outstanding price performance ratio. It is fast, intuitive, and really easy to use. It has interdisciplinary consistency in generic data, over 1.4 million parts at your fingertips in the WSCAD universe. It has highly functional augmented reality apps, and it has a purchase or subscribe based license, and many more good reasons. From now on, my colleague Gasper will take over with demonstration of building automation module of WSCAD. So I would like to welcome you. The word is yours.
Thank you, Elvis. First of all, I would say hello to everybody from my side too. And I will share my screen. So, just a second. Okay. Like this. So I would, first of all, I would show you something about our project in building automation, that you will know how it consists and everything. So here we have some ventilation and heating, cooling technology. Then we have room automation example. So if we open the ventilation technology and we go to some automation scheme, here in upper side, we have control diagrams. And these are control diagrams from the automation scheme. And if we go forward, we can open this medium. We have mediums which connects different elements, and we can choose more different mediums. So here we have extract air, gas, and so on. We can choose. And as you can see right now, in building automation, we have different symbols, special symbols, especially for automation, building automation. And as you can see here, we have also information about the cable. So all these elements has information about the cables in one scheme. If we go forward, now we can see this symbol infolinks, which are essential. And you can see already here these numbers are data points, and these data points are actually inputs or outputs from our symbols, from our elements. And as you can see here, for example, exhaust air damper, here we have a lot of information, hand message and everything. It's outdoor air damper. For all elements, we have this information. Now, the question is why we should use these schemes, why we should have extra work. The answer is because in the very beginning of the project, we have very nice overview. For example, we can generate a lot of great documentation reports. Here we can see we have a fire damper. Then we can go to the function list, which are very important, because here we have references. Here we have all information about the elements. So, for example, this outdoor temperature sensor, we exactly know that this outdoor temperature sensor has one analog input, and then there is information about physical or virtual, what kind of input is this. We have all this kind of information in one hand with this function list. And as I said, we have more other reports which are very good. For example, material lists. We can generate material lists in each plant or floor, or we can generate overall material list for whole building. And then we have all information about the manufacturer, and then we can make some very good calculation about the project in very beginning. So we have already this information. And yes, we can also, let's say, we have cable lists, and we can also generate overall function lists, and we exactly know how many inputs or outputs and which of inputs and outputs are in whole project. So this is one of the benefits. You can see here we have all information, summary functions. And okay, automation scheme. If you go back here, you can already see that we have a lot of cross references. All these elements are connected to electrical engineering scheme, to electrical engineering discipline. So all these elements we can use in electrical engineering later. If we open this fan, for example, we can check directly data points about this fan. Here we have all information, and then you can see all information, and we can also change base objects. There's a lot of functionality which we can do with WSCAD. And here we have data point browser. In data point browser, here is a lot of elements. There are all elements in the project, and we can choose the page which we want to see the data points on which page. So, for example, we can check some pages, and here we have all information. And this data point key, we can generate these data point keys, which are kind of addresses. There are very well structured addresses, and because of this structure, we immediately know where this data point belongs, to which plant, floor, or which element, which kind of data point is. We can generate this data point key by our own. So we can create the structure of this data point key, that we already know exactly where this data point belongs. So yeah, maybe we have more thousands of data points, so that's very, very good. So if you open this data point manager, that yes, from access file, this is kind of database from building automation model, and here we have all information about the data point. So data points. So we can change the language. And if we open a signal data point management, here we have all information. We can change the data points and we can add new data points. Here is 10,000 data points, and if we don't have right data point, we can just simply change. We can do some changes. For example, we can change some, we can add physical, virtual data point type. And as I said, we can add more data points and then upload, connect back to WSCAD. So if you open this fan again, here, if you open part management, here we have all options to this kind of ventilator, stepless ventilator. There's a lot of options which we can choose for this application. So as I said before, we have cross references, and now we can just jump to our electrical schematics. So we can use this part, this element from the material list, and we can just place it directly to this schematics, and everything is cross-reference. So we don't need to work twice for one thing. So when we have this overview, as you can see, we can use this overview for other disciplines, for electrical engineering, for schematics in this way, or in other. So in installation plan, for example, here we just jump to installation plan where we have some DVG file, and on this DVG file you can see a lot of elements, and we can open this outdoor temperature sensor, and you can see we have information about the height. So we place this element on the place. It's a 3D, and all these elements on the DVG are 3D oriented, are actually laying on the place. We can check it right now with this 3D overview. Here, all elements are actually lying on the space, and we have exact information about the height. And we can actually put this cable pipe and make a calculations for cables, and then we can generate a very precise cable list. So we can go to other to heating and cooling technology. So for heating we have, and cooling, we have a lot of symbols and already prepared macros, and a lot of parts. We can create very good schemes, automation schemes for cooling and heating technology, and for all control systems. There's a lot of possibility to create with WSCAD. And if we go forward, as I said, we have also room automation schemes and room automation macros, which we can use it in building automation model for the automation of the buildings. And yes, in Germany and some other countries, these diagrams should be in building automation projects according to ISO 16484 standard, but in our market are not required yet. As you can see right now, there's the same process like in ventilation technology before I showed you. We have this cross references, so we can jump to electric installation plan. Okay. And we can go back. And yes, we can open some symbol, some sensor, and you can see we have a lot of information to fill, pin field, pin type, and so on. So now I think the best way is to create some project in building automation that you will see what are benefits of our model and why we should do the schemes like this. So project name would be a webinar, let's say. And okay, there's a structure template. So we already have by default some structures for building automation. We have already some structures and we can just create it by our own, what we want to have it. So we already create some structures. Here's mounting location, installation, site plan, everything is set. So we want, we don't need to do nothing. The structure is like this right now. We just decided to work on this way. There's many ways to work. So this is one of the ways. And if we go to automation scheme, and we can create some pages, let's say 5 pages we will have in this ventilation technology. We want to create some ventilation. And here we have this edit project text. And because of this editor, we can just copy and paste more names at once in one page. It's also some benefit. And if we go to the first page, and if we can check the right side, these are macro explorer, and we have a symbol explorer. But right now, for this demonstration, we will work with macros because we have a lot of macros, and it's very good to work with these macros because it's very faster. So if we place some crossflow for now, for our building automation, for our building ventilation system, you can see already we have some data points here which were generated, and now we will need in our project some fire dams, some fire dampers for supply air, and fire dampers for exhaust air. Then ventilators, we will also place them. We have different kind of macros. Now we have variables in this macro, and we can set the variables. We can set the values to these variables. You will see it again if we insert in supplier one more. Okay, here we have these values. So if we know the nominal power, we can just insert it right here. And now we will insert some pressure sensors for our application of ventilation system in the both sides. And okay. And as you can see, we already have a lot of information here about data points, about inputs or outputs. We exactly know which inputs or outputs are and the name of them, what they are for. But right now we don't have data point keys. So we can just generate the data point keys. We can go to tools, plugin. Let's say we will use this template from Fraport. And here we go to functions, and we can change this update data point info links. And as you can see, we generate these data point keys, and now we know exactly where some data point belongs to which plant or element, and what kind of data point is it. So we just generated this data point key, and these are very important, especially if we have a very big project. So if we go forward and place some more elements, some more macros to our ventilation system, we need a cooler. Also, we have options to fill the values to variables. And sensors. Okay, this is outdoor temperature sensor. And now we can just insert some dampers for exhaust air. And we need to place some filters in both sides of exhaust air, like this. Okay, and now we can create more. One more thing. If we don't have if we don't have a macros, we can insert the symbols and do in other ways. So we insert the symbols for, let's say, this smoke detector, this sensor, and here we can insert the parts which we want. We have a lot of options. We just choose this, and we can just directly check the data point, because when we insert this part, automatically the data point is generated. And now this is not all. We need just this symbol info link and connect it to this element, and now everything is generated. Now we have the all information in our automation scheme. This is other way how to do it if we don't have a proper macros. And yes, we can insert some more pages. We can connect more pages with these cross references. So with these arrows. So let's say ABL. And other arrow. Now we can insert some additional lines here. That's also the possibility that we know in other page where to place these mediums. So if you go to the next page, we can insert this supply air on the lower additional line, like this, and exhaust air. And this is not right. We will change it. like this. And then we will insert some more arrows that everything will be cross-referenced. We can move this reference right now, that we will see it better. Another. Like this. And then now, let's say for our demonstration that in our ventilation system, we have more fire dampers. We can just copy these fire dampers in another page, like this. And we have one options that we can duplicate these fire dampers with Control and D. And when we press plus, we get more fire dampers. And as you can see, the software automatically calculate the distance between these elements. That's also one good way to work. And we can just insert one more page in installation plan. And I want to show you how to work with DWG or DXF files. We will insert some big file, big layout. You will see that we have also possibility to work with larger projects. Or so we open some layout, and here you can see we have a lot of layers. There's a lot of layers. We can close the layers here, for example. We have a lot of options how to work with these DXF files or DWG files. And you can see already it's here. And if we press right button, we have here a lot of options, properties. We can also here change the layers. We can open some layers, we can close them. But now this is not the case I want to show you. I want to show you that we can now just insert some parts from the building automation scheme, which we created previously. So we will insert here, for example, some fire damper from the material list, from the material explorer. So here we have a material explorer with all elements which we already inserted in our project. So we can just use it. As you can see right now, we have now the additional window with installation zones automatically opened. And as you can see, the symbol is very small right now because we didn't adjust the scale to this big drawing. But that's not a problem. We can just scale this symbol. Let's say we can scale once, and then we have the proper. So in the right side, you can see that we can place on some position this element, this fire damper. We choose on the right side with short with keys Q and A the height of the element in the space. If we open this data point, here we have also information, and that's not all. As you can see, we have also information about the cables. If there are cables, they are also integrated in installation plan right now. Now we can go to other discipline and create some pages, let's say 27 pages for our project. But we will insert we will name just 3 pages because I want to show you how to use these data points in PLCs, how to assign the data points to PLCs. So now everything is set. So we know exactly what kind of project is. And if we start just from the PLC overview for our demonstration, we don't have time to create a whole project. So if we open this PLC overview, and we created some macros for our demonstration that we can show you how to assign these data points to PLCs. And fire dampers like this. And now let's say that we will need in our project the PLC 1200 from Siemens. We can just insert the part. Like this. Let's say that we will use this CPU just for not in this page, but in PLC overview. Like this. And now here we have this PLC manager where we can assign the inputs or outputs. Here we have a browser. We can just assign it to 0, 0 because it's first one. And now it's assigned. And we can just connect and assign this data point to, let's say, analog input, where if we open this analog input, we don't need to worry to mix with digital or something else, because there in the data point browser opened automatically just analog options for analog inputs. Like this, we just assigned. And if we go to the browser, you can already see that the data point is assigned, but we don't have a comment and symbol text. That means we didn't set the proper settings in PLC. So that's not a problem. And we can go just to tools, settings, and we can here assign this special text, PLC text, that we will have a lot of more information about this data point in PLC. Let's say that that's okay for us. If we insert one more time, and we will now have to do everything one more time. So like this. And now we can just assign these inputs or outputs. Let's say the address first byte is 0. And again, we will assign this data point. Let's say this is a pressure sensor which has analog input. If we are more precisely, we can assign the other way. So we can assign directly here in browser the data point, or we can assign it a lot more. So we can just choose more digital outputs, for example, all of them, and then assign it directly, all of them, to data point browser. So as you see right now, everything is assigned. And if we go forward, pressure sensor. Okay, now we can do it exactly as we do it in installation plan here in electrical schematics. So we can just use this pressure sensor, find this pressure sensor in building automation. scheme, so material list in building automation. So if we want this, okay, it's here. So we have a pressure sensor. We need on this page let's say two pressure sensors. And you can see automatically it's connected. Automatically the cross reference is generated. And now we will use these analog inputs and place it here. Like this. And if we go to fire dampers, the procedure is the same. We can use these elements from the building material explorer. Let's say this fire damper, which we already use it, as you can see this in electrical installation, and now we have fire damper delivery air, fire damper exhaust air. That's it for now, and now we can go back to you, Elvis, to Q&A session.
Okay, thank you, Gaspar. It was a good demonstration. We will now begin our Q&A section of the workshop. So some questions have already arrived, and I will read the first one. What specifies the ISO 16484 standard?
ISO 16484 standard specify the phases of building automation and control system. It has 4 phases. First is first phase is design. Second is engineering. Then is installation of the control system, and last is completion of the project. The ISO 16484 consists of 7 parts, and yes, we can send you some overview of the standard, that you will have more information about it.
Okay, thank you, Gaspar. The second question is how the data point keys are defined.
Data point keys, as I showed before, we actually didn't define it, but we can set data point keys in special addressing system, where can we define these addresses very precisely. We already have some data point key structure, as already I use it in this demonstration from airport Frankfurt Fraport, and has own defined data point structure. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, are there any more questions from you guys? Feel free to type it in Q&A box.
Maybe I can show this data point key, the structure. If there's, I see that we have still time.
Okay, feel free to share your screen.
Okay, share it again. Now you can see the second one.
Yes.
Okay, here the add-ons, plugin manager, and we used for demonstration this Fraport key structure, but we can create it by our own. So here, let's say we can choose some structure which we want for Project Explorer, database, let's just, and so on. Let's say some, doesn't matter. We can make some classification here. So, and now we can generate, we can create some our own structure, which we want. Okay, you can take my screen again.
Thank you, Gasper. We also organized basic training that lasts 3 days. Training is intended for users who already have some prior knowledge and also for those who are meeting WSCAD for the first time. The training will take place from 5th to 7th of July. I welcome you all. The number of attendees is limited, so if you want, you can apply. You can also download the free demo and test all functionalities by yourself. And I will take a moment and let you guys write down the web address for the download link. And at last, on this slide, you can see our contact information. So please, if you have any questions that appear later, feel free to contact us. And once again, please fill your survey that will pop up after the workshop, and the recording will be sent in the next following days. So that's it from our side.
Okay, thank you. And bye.